Do you think Duane Thomas is doing the right thing by his negotiations? Do you think he's under the influence of the wrong type of individual in having an agent?
Well, you know, I can't say. I have a lawyer who handled my negotiation and handles all of my business affairs. So I really don't know. I haven't talked to Duane since the Cowboys came here the first time. I guess it was in March.
Right.
And I don't know what's on his mind. I don't know what his contract calls for or anything. It's certainly a very unusual thing he's doing, but I don't know. It's hard for me to say.
Would you, as Calvin Hill, forget a year of playing football? Say, put yourself in Duane's place. And of course, you say you couldn't, but do you think he'll report? That's what I'm trying to get around to.
Well, I think he's going to report. There's no doubt in my mind that he will. Although I think he said that he's going to retire, but that could be a very political thing. I'm not sure. I haven't talked to him, and I shouldn't really comment on it. But I have to think he's going to report until I see him not report.
Let me get your opinion on this too. With a team as full of so many veterans as you have now, the Cowboys, with competition in, say, the spots like Waters and Harris and Morton and Staubach and you and Duane, do you think that'll spur the other fellows on who don't have so much competition and turn you into a better ball club?
Well, I think there's competition every year. Unless you are Mel Renfro or Herb Adderley or Bob Lilly. But other than those three, there's going to be competition at each spot.
The world of animals never figured into our planning at all, actually. This has been part of a long-range program that, as I say, was begun 4 years ago, and we are merely implementing those long-range plans.
Well, do you feel that the world of animals being so close that this will hurt your financial endeavor here?
I wish that I were in a position to make a comparison between Lion Country Safari and World of Animals, but unhappily I cannot. For this reason, I haven't been to World of Animals. I haven't seen it. I don't know what the operation is. I hope that during my stay here that I will get a chance not only to visit World of Animals, but Six Flags over Texas and the others. But as I say, that we are merely implementing long-range plans. Lion Country Safari is a large corporation. We plan far in advance, and we were going to come here whether there was World of Animals or no World of Animals or 3 Worlds of Animals.
Welcome to the continuing story of politics in Balch Springs. This is the story that asks the question, can anyone find political happiness in a southeast Dallas County town of 13,000? That question came up June 14th when 3 members of the City Council resigned, one of them the mayor. The 3 said they were protesting the use of the tax dollar. Now Balch Springs faces another election Saturday to replace those 3. Gil Hunt, John Nelson, Marie Hughes, and Buddy Sutton have filed for the open council seats. Patricia Taylor, L.M. Begley, and Joe Jarvis are in a 3-way race for the mayor's position. The Balch Springs Progressive Committee wants to get more people involved in city government in Balch Springs. That may be a moot question. It seems there are only 2 types of people in Balch Springs, those who don't care one way or the other. One person out here said they wouldn't care if the devil himself ran. The other type is those who are madly partisan for either one side or the other. A lot of the people in Balch Springs would be happy if things would just settle down. But the political history here doesn't make that seem very likely. Today, one of the candidates charged partisan politics in allowing signs to be placed in cars here in front of the City Hall. That finally got ironed out, but it's probably not the end of the matter. Another issue seems to be building codes and zoning. Some citizens complain there are no adequate building codes or zoning ordinances. One man told me today that lots of people criticize Balch Springs, but he said, at least we don't own our soul in federal aid. Let's see you put that in the paper, he said. I wish I could help him. So Balch Springs girds for Saturday's election, another note in the continuing political story of Balch Springs. Phil Reynolds, Channel 8 News on the Move, in Balch Springs.
I'll probably go to Phoenix and then I'll come back within a couple of days and stay here. I'll be back and forth between this one and Phoenix.
How much is this going to hurt the circus?
Well, of course, it'll always the horses, but we can substitute. We'll be all right.
Do you think the horses are going to be blocked from going into the next state?
Well, they will be for 14 days.
What are you going to do about the other show, the blue show?
Well, when I can get the vaccine, I'll probably fly up there and inoculate those animals also.
Are the horses being allowed to go in the next state?
Yeah, they're in. Of course, they weren't in Texas when this came into effect, so they're all right.
Have the horses shown any sign yet of sleeping sickness?
No. I mean, these animals are perfectly normal.
Did you try to get it waived for these horses since they're special cases?
No, I don't think he could do it. I mean, there was a regulation passed that is quarantine, and you can't go against those things. That's the law, and we must abide by it. We'd hate to think that we'd spread something.
It's the noon meal. It's a simple luncheon consisting of sandwiches and fruit. But the problem of setting up, preparing, and serving that meal to 2,300 persons attending the convention is staggering. To start off with, you got to have 150 gallons of iced tea, 1,200 sausage sandwiches, 2,000 meat and cheese sandwiches, 1,500 submarines, 5,000 sloppy joes, 3,000 fruit bags, 10,000 ice creams, and 200 watermelon. To serve, these lines will be in operation very, very shortly. The iced tea comes through hoses from the next room, and that's the big room where you'll sit, and it'll accommodate 1,800 people comfortably. Now, every one of these people that you see, men, women, and children, are volunteers. They receive no pay, and they love every minute of what they're doing. In 1958, on a larger scale, the Jehovah's Witnesses prepared food for and fed over 250,000 people at one sitting in New York's Polo Grounds. Watching that operation closely was the United States Army. Now, Uncle Sam finally decided that it was not feasible for them to utilize the Jehovah's Witnesses methods. They left the Polo Grounds muttering something about a fallacy in their volunteer system. This convention will continue through Sunday. If you're counting, that's about 10 miles away. Jerry Park, Channel 8 News on the Move, Fort Worth.
Skyjacking, I think, to quote the Bible, it too will pass.
Do you think then that that particular surveillance will eliminate hijackings, as we know?
That plus the fact that it's not just the electronic surveillance alone. We know the characteristics of the hijacker. We have an elaborate intelligence gathering net now. We have cooperative efforts going between the Federal Aviation Administration, the FBI, local police authorities. We know what criminals are afoot. We know where the fugitives are, what they're about to do, and all of these things together, the intelligence, the surveillance devices, the sky marshals, the attitudes of the airline security personnel, all of this in total is going to really squelch this whole affair.
It's no different from last year when I went to training camp. I had a job, but I knew that I had to win the job in training camp to keep it, and I think it's going to be the same as it was last year. I'm not going to camp feeling any different. The only difference is that I didn't have a job when the season ended, but I feel confident that.
How are you physically? You had a lot of little nagging injuries last year, didn't you?
Yeah, I have a shoulder that still bothers me, but I feel fine. I feel real good. I think running-wise, I'm in pretty good shape. I weigh a little bit more, but I'm not going to worry about that. I think I'm in pretty good shape, and I'm looking forward to it.